Welcome to today's episode of our podcast. I'm thrilled to be joined by someone who's been at the forefront of AI and analytics for nearly 2 decades, Mr. Tarun Goel, partner and AI leader at Tiger Analytics. He's led transformative AI projects for Fortune 500 companies, built analytics COEs, and helped businesses leverage AI to drive real, measurable impact. Today, we'll dive deep into his journey, the evolving AI landscape, and what it takes to build high-performing teams in this exciting space. Tarun, it's an absolute pleasure to have you here. Welcome.
Thanks, Harshita, for the wonderful introduction, and thanks for having me on this podcast.
We're very happy to have you here. So I'd love to learn a little bit more about your personal journey in leadership. You've spent over 18 years in AI and analytics, so could you take us back to the beginning and what first sparked your interest in this field?
Okay, very interesting question. I think this takes me back to my engineering days, kind of in a time capsule, right? So I think those days, in engineering, we were juggling with a lot of subjects like mathematics, programming, computing, software design, right? And there was one of these elective courses I opted for. It was data mining. And as part of that course, we were exposed to topics like neural networks, regression, and this whole idea about having the ability to look at past data to predict future events kind of was very intriguing. It kind of struck a chord very deep within, and that sort of triggered my interest and curiosity. And then once that happened, I was exploring this sector more, knowing more about it. Though I started my career with a banking product company, but since I had been exposed to that sort of area of potential field of work, I sort of made my way, right? I think looking back, one thing else which kind of kept me hooked to this field all these years long was the, I think, multidimensional nature of this field, right? Yeah. You're at the intersection of data, technology, coupled with deep sector and domain insights, right? And you're solving the most complex and strategic problems.
Yeah.
So I think that's been the thing that has kept me hooked all along.
Yeah, I think that sounds very powerful, and that sounds incredibly interesting to me as well. So building on that and the people that work at your company, you've led high-performing teams at Tiger Analytics. What's your secret to building these kind of teams that thrive in such a fast-changing environment that we know the AI space is?
I would say it's been a evolving journey for me. It's been an evolving learning process for me. But I think thanks for asking that question again, because it's close to my heart. There are 2 aspects to it, right? One is setting up the teams, and the second is making sure that teams perform at continuously at a high performance level, right? So having said that, I feel that we have to continuously work to make sure as leaders that we are investing in ourselves. Right. We are constantly evolving and understanding the changing needs of the market, the clients, people,
leading by
technology.
Yeah.
Exactly. So I think that's very, very foundational to me. There are 3-4 principles which I have sort of imbibed over the years from different leaders, different mentors, right, different companies that I've been part of. One is which is very, very important and often overlooked, I feel, is deep understanding of every persona in the team.
No.
Every individual is unique. No 2 individuals are same, right? Typically, when we set up large teams, you tend to cluster people into groups or segments. But it's very important for us to, as leaders, to understand what are the individual aspirations, what are the drivers of motivations, right? So that is very, very important, because then you can align the right roles and opportunities for those people.
Absolutely.
Right. Second is, I think, creating a culture of openness and psychological security, right? Yeah. Your youngest member in the team, I've seen, comes up with the great ideas, right? The best ideas. So I think, there should be a culture of openness where people can speak their mind, can share ideas, and they don't have to worry about the risk of failure.
It's a very safe space.
Safe space for people to share and exchange ideas. And I think on top of it, coming back to my original point of setting up the foundation, the foundation stage of setting up a team is the most critical, right? As leaders, what I tell my, reportees or my team leads, that spend 80% of your time that you're supposed to spend over team oversight into your initial 4 to 6 weeks. Because that's where you're forming the team, all the conflicts, the trust issues, the dynamics, interpersonal dynamics, team synergies will come across very, very clearly in those areas. So that is if you set the foundation right, and the points that I just mentioned, I think that it's a well-running engine. People in a team are like wheels on a vehicle, right? You have to take extra care of your wheels, otherwise it's not moving anymore.
Yeah,
right? Vehicle is not going anywhere. So I think those are some of the learnings that I tend to imbibe. And having said that, it's a continuous learning culture evolution. At Tiger, we've done that very well.
Yeah.
We have come up with some of the very unique organizational constructs, initiatives like team health checks, Tiger listens.
Okay.
People can speak up their mind, right? And this all has been sort of integrated into the fabric and the DNA of the company.
Okay.
So that has worked very well, Harshada.
That sounds really nice. And actually, I know as someone who has very recently been a very young joiner into a company, that kind of environment of psychological safety is very important because actually what teams are looking for is people who ask questions because they're not quite so used to the status quo and they'll question things, but they also have to feel safe enough to question it. So I think that's really lovely.
Absolutely.
So I'd also love to know a little bit more about your outlook on the industry in general. So if I may ask, you've worked with Fortune 500 companies across banking, financial services, and insurance. How have you seen AI truly transform these industries?
Okay, so I think in last 18 years, I think, honestly, if I look back, the transformation has been truly remarkable. But I think it has happened in periodic waves, phases, I would say, right? If I have to take an example, like in banking and financial services, were the early adopters of data and analytics, the traditional data and analytics. Early on, it was about credit scoring engines. It was about fraud detection, building Excel-based dashboards, insights, right? Now it has moved on from your traditional to kind of AI taking a center stage at the board level, right? AI is kind of no longer nice to have. I remember 5 years back, we used to propose use cases to the CXOs that these are impactful use cases, can transform the entire bank. But now we are facing the reverse. Use cases have been figured out by our clients themselves. They're looking to help in implementing and executing those use cases.
It's almost like co-creating.
And even helping them building a roadmap. Building let's say a data, and we're doing a lot of work. We're working with a financial services company, and we are developing their data and AI strategy right from core. Because they had 100 plus use cases, they wanted our help to say which should be prioritized for short term, medium term, long term. Another very good example is we recently helped a leading bank transform their pricing strategy. And using data and AI, and that unlocked, north of $50 million in potential incremental revenue opportunity. So those are some of the examples, where we're seeing a completely transformative shift in terms of how banks and financial services are looking at AI.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think with a lot of industries that have legacy systems like banking, they want a lot of insight and support into how they want to go forward, because they know they have to do certain things, they just don't know how. That's where you guys come in with that. So I think it's really great. And kind of coming on to the point that you mentioned about it being a hot topic at the board level, even today, a lot of CXOs still hesitate around AI adoption. So what do you think are the biggest concerns they have, which is why they discuss it so much?
No, this is, if I were to answer this question 2 years back or 3 years back, I would say there were serious concerns, right? And I would say there was not even it was not even a board agenda. But with the advent of large language models, generative AI, I think it is shifting very, very fast, right? Now, everybody understands AI is a must-have, is a very strategic
not just
sort of a enabler across the organization. But now I think, but there are valid concerns, right? There are some are valid, some are more of myths, I would say. One of the things we've seen about this whole Big Bang myth around AI, right? You know, in our conversations with a lot of C-suite stakeholders, they feel, you know, can AI, will it be like a extremely massive undertaking?
Okay.
You know, do we need to do a big bang across the organization? Are we ready from a process, technology, infrastructure standpoint? And our advice to that is, you know, true impact, you know, true meaningful impact comes from implementing high impact use cases in a very, very structured and a very, very staged manner. Instead of going enterprise wide, start in one functional area and do multiple use cases in that particular area, right? So that's one sort of a, you know, area of concern we see, or not a concern, but more of a readiness sort of a, you know, doubt that we've heard. The other one is more of a valid concern, which is, I feel, around this whole space of, and I'll take the example of banking, financial services, heavily regulated industries. With AI regulations not being structured right now, you know, a lot of, you know, globally new regulations have come in. EU recently came up with the AI Act. US has come up with their guidelines. So it's an evolving space. How do we operate? How will it impact our processes? You know, are we going to be compliant? How do we manage fairness? You know, will it impact our customers? Right. So all those are compliance risk is one evolving area.
A lot of guesswork.
And to be honest, this is something that industry and AI solution providers like us and academia, I think all of us has to team up together to solve this problem, right? And this will evolve. It'll take its own shape. The right guidelines will come in from an implementation perspective. Those two, for me, those two are the big sort of, you know, pockets. You know, the other thing that we keep hearing is the impact timeline.
Okay.
You know, there are two wide-ranging spectrums where C-suite is. Some feel AI will take 2-3 years, you know, to show impact. The other spectrum is, AI can solve everything for you. Okay. Both are not correct, right? So the answer is somewhere in the middle.
It usually is.
You know, typically what we have seen is very well thought out, well laid out, designed use cases can practically deliver value in 3 to 6 months, right? If you thought through the end goal very well. So those are the three dimensions that we keep hearing, you know, when we engage with C-suite stakeholders. Yeah,
I think fair enough. Anytime you're implementing anything new that's significant, you definitely think about the actual implementation, then regulation as well.
Yes.
So I think that's very reasonable. So I'd love to know a little bit more about Tiger Analytics specifically as well. So Tiger Analytics is known for delivering full stack AI solutions. How do you ensure that these solutions are not just technically sound, but also practical for businesses?
It's I think, great question, right? I think that's one learning that has happened over the last 17 years, that, you know, the impact of AI is not in the technical solution, but is coming from the business problem you're trying to solve. So, you know, your technical solution or your underlying data science models, predictive models, right, are solving a problem, which is a business problem, right? So I've seen too many very sophisticated models gather dust just because they were not integrated properly into business workflows, that they did not sort of drive the end business decision making, right? So what we do at Tiger, right? I think coming back to your question, we take this business persona design first approach.
Okay.
What that means is that once we get to know about a problem that we have to solve, it's a clear message to the teams. It's like whiteboard before keyboard. Don't write a single line of code. Right? First, you have to understand what kind of problem you're trying to solve. Who is the end stakeholder? Who is the end decision maker? Who is the sponsor for this, investment that is being done? How it's going to impact their business? What process changes needs to happen on the ground? Is the client ready? Are their data systems, business processes, stakeholders ready? A lot of times we've seen there are multiple stakeholders involved in a use case implementation, right?
Almost always.
If you're working on let's say a cross-sell marketing problem, right, and you're building a sophisticated next best product recommendation, your data teams needs to be aligned, your IT team needs to be aligned, your digital vendors needs to be onboarded, they need to be ready, right? And your risk team needs to be aware of what kind of is this falling under the risk policies of the bank, right? So I think we take this business persona-based approach wherein we understand, we've created a very consultative-led sort of advisory framework wherein we map out detailed personas, their priorities, their KPIs, their action levers, and then we say, okay, how does my business problem is translating into a data problem to an analytical problem, right? Then it's like starting from there. Once we've understood the context very well, then we say, okay, what are the right data sources we need? What kind of quality of data is a minimum threshold, and then what kind of techniques do we need to build in?
And I think that's absolutely a tale as old as time, the intersection between business and tech, which sometimes can have some hiccups, but it's incredibly important. So I think it's really good that that's being addressed. And you have these specific plug-and-play AI accelerators at Tiger that you've talked about before. How do they make AI adoption simpler for organizations and more accessible?
Yeah, I think plug-and-play accelerators for us are a game changer. Right? It's been recognized by a lot of analysts also. Like a lot of analysts like Everest, ISG have spoken about it. It's part of our, it's a strategic sort of an initiative, part of our overall innovation agenda, and our open IP-led approach. We believe in sharing our IP with the clients. So what are these plug-and-play accelerators? Think of it as pre-built modules, pre-packaged modules like Lego blocks, which are completely customizable. Every client is different, right? So traditionally, when you were building AI applications, you will start with very, very grounds up approach. Teams will write code, then you'll test those codes, you'll customize those codes to the client's data, their business problem, and that is a very long process, right? The whole ask from the clients over the years has become speed to value.
Right.
How can I get to the value faster? And that's where we realize a need. Can we automate packaged or this domain wrapped modules which can be just deployed with a small quick customization into the client's environment, and that gives us acceleration of around 40 to 60% in terms of time to value. So I'll give you an example. We have around 30 plus accelerators across different sectors, functions, domains, technologies, completely tech agnostic. Let's say if typically a client is trying to do a market mix modeling implementation, right? That will typically will take around 3 to 6 months, depending on where the client's maturity is.
Right.
We are very confident to have an MVP ready in 6 to 8 weeks.
Okay.
So that's a significant acceleration. Because we have tested these solutions across industries, across multiple clients.
So it's just small.
And now it's an available, IP. And we completely share our IP with the clients so that they can use it, they can own it, even if they disengage with us.
Okay.
Right? Till the time they're engaged with us, they'll keep getting access to, the newer versions of the solutions. So plug and play is part of our key strategy, related to client engagements.
Yeah, and I think that's incredibly valuable, especially for, again, legacy systems where things move a little bit slow.
Yeah.
If you're able to just plug and play the solution, that's something that's very, very useful.
Absolutely.
So I can see why that would apply to the sectors that you're working in right now. And another thing I'd just like to know a little bit more about is when you help these companies set up analytics COEs, as you've mentioned before, when you help them work on their roadmap and things like that, what are the biggest challenges you see and how do you overcome them?
Yeah, I think I've been lucky to gotten the opportunity to set up and scale COEs over the last 15 years or so across different banks, insurance companies, financial services organizations. I think it's a mix of both art and science. Typically analytics COEs, clients are looking for innovation-led delivery, right? But I think the biggest challenge that we see is the whole organization alignment on the client side itself, right?
Okay.
Different teams have different mandates. Marketing has a different mandate than finance, who's looking for cost optimization, then IT, which is running a different tech roadmap, then your operations. So the one of the key things we do upfront is to make sure that there is alignment at the client's organization at the highest level.
Okay.
Right? And making sure that we set up very clear business outcomes and goals.
Okay.
3 to 5 key goals, which this COE is expected to achieve over its next, let's say, 2 to 4 years journey, right? It's kind of that North Star that we are chasing together as a partner with our clients. The other thing, I think, which is very important in scaling and ensuring success of COEs is talent.
Yeah.
There's a talent war that is going on for the right talent, and attracting the right talent and retaining the right talent. I think it's equally important. And somehow at Tiger we've done that very well. If you look at our attrition rates, is much lower than industry standards. We are somewhere close to less than 10%.
Okay.
So I think making sure that you're engaging the talent, creating a learning map, giving a right career path for each skill category is absolutely pivotal. So I think those are some of the key aspects. Those are 2 aspects I spoke about. The last but not the least is balancing innovation with very tight, high quality delivery.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right? As a COE, you are expected to innovate. You're expected to bring value, but you're also there is a huge need to make sure that you're focusing on right BAU delivery as well.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. So those are the 3 aspects which I feel are pivotal to analytics COEs.
Yeah, and I think that's very interesting. And you've been very vocal about talent and coaching talent because you're only as good as your people, right? So working with talent and academia, how do you see this partnership shaping the AI workforce in the future?
Yeah, that's a topic very close to my heart. I think, gotten the opportunity to interact with a lot of students, right? Almost 2,000 plus students across multiple colleges, B schools across India. And I think there is definitely a gap, right? And which academia realizes and which industry also is seeing, right? The challenge is that this whole space of analytics AI is evolving much faster than what academic institutions can cope up with. We ourselves are, running very, very fast to stay sort of, abreast with the latest, right? So I think there is a need, Harshita, to be honest, to have a very close collaboration, right? And I see two fronts to it. One is, having industry closely involved in the curriculum design. A lot has been spoken in the past about it, but somehow not much has happened on the ground. Right. Second opportunity I feel is where industry and academia can come together, and can we incubate or create very, very unique programs where industry leaders are coming and participating in teaching, right? Teaching students, participating in building case studies, right? Which are more real world examples.
Yeah, that sounds really great.
So, question to you, maybe, you yourself are pursuing your MBA. What do you think about this, right? From your lens as a student right now, I think you've worked in a bank before. So what is your perspective on this?
Yeah, so I think that's actually it's a very interesting proposition, because what we learn in the classroom, obviously we look at case studies and we look at real world applications, but if we have industry leaders and people with industry experience coming in and telling us exactly what's happening today and almost real-time updates on the kind of tech and the kind of skills you need, I think that's very valuable, because then it's not just about the theory, it's also about application. And it's also the industry giving us insights into what they're looking for from their students that are graduating from an MBA school or any kind of school, really. So I think that would be something that's very valuable. So I'm looking forward to doing something like that.
So I think it's a great forum to exchange these ideas, and I think we should all think about this, right? And then I'm sure, right, as things evolve, if we start thinking about it more, I think something will materialize soon in this aspect.
Yeah, I definitely look forward to that.
Yep. Thank you.
So I'd love to know a little bit more as well about how you see AI developing in the future. So with Gen AI and LLMs exploding onto the scene, how do you see them impacting businesses and just the future of AI in general in the future?
Yeah, I think it's the most talked about topic everywhere, right? So I think there are a lot of narratives, a lot of perspectives out there. Different people have different, sort of opinions on this, and and we can talk endless about it. Go on and on. But I think one thing which is happening, and which is not happening just from a B2B, we serve our businesses, right? B2B clients. But from a B2C and B2B standpoint, it's more of a grounds of change that is already happening, is the whole democratization of insights and enablement of AI, right? You yourself as a student must be using ChatGPT, I'm sure, right? Or Claude or others to help with your, assignments, right? So I think that is a change which is happening across, sectors, industries, right? So I see definitely AI becoming, AI will reach the last mile. It will get penetrated across organizations. AI will be like this, your personal companion, intelligent, personal, virtual robot kind of a thing, which can help you do things faster, solve problems that you thought could never be solved or could take longer. So I think that's definitely going to happen, right? And at Tiger also, we are seeing a similar trend. That's why, our perspective on this is it's AI for enterprise, right? We used to think AI for impact earlier, AI for decision enablement, but now it's AI for data, AI for processes, AI for support, sustain, right? And AI for insights. So we are seeing for our clients, AI penetrating and creating value across the organization, both horizontally and vertically, right? So, and then businesses will become, more efficient. It is a competitive advantage and a disadvantage if you're not using it. So that's how I'll summarize that.
Yeah, and I imagine that that's an extremely informed decision, considering that you've been in this space for a long time. And actually, given that, I'd love to know more about your own experience as well. So in your job every day, you juggle leadership, you juggle CXO engagement, and P&L responsibilities. So what keeps you inspired and balanced amidst all of that, and also keeping up with an industry that's changing so fast?
Oh, it's been there is no set thing that I can say, right? It's been such a journey. It's been such a learning, humbling journey over the years, right? But right now, as we, as personally I operate at a certain scale, there is definitely inspiration comes from seeing the impact of the work that you do, both from people and clients' perspective, right? You see the people that you've groomed, mentored, taking higher responsibilities and performing at highest levels and doing wonderful things across the organization. That's a very, very fulfilling experience. And that motivates you more to put in more energy and invest future leaders and, groom your teams. The second is, all the work that we do for our clients, when you start seeing tangible value and when your clients speak for yourself, when your clients call you or send you emails about how the transformative impact they've seen in the business truly has been really rewarding, and it just motivates you further. Having said that, I think, balance and is important, right? I think for me, it's one discovery that has been, for me personally, has been the ability to manage your energy levels more than your time. Because if you manage your energy levels and you focus on your personal well-being, I think time gets managed.
Yeah.
Right. So, planning your day, structuring your day or weeks in a very, very meaningful way can help avoid a lot of stress, which is sometimes unavoidable as well. And I think at the end, staying true to yourself. Everybody has those 40 hours in a week, that we're working. So, prioritizing, right? So, juggling between different responsibilities. Not everything can be done at the same time. So, meaningful delegation, right? Not over-delegate, not under-delegate is key to sort of, I feel, staying sane and still being able to perform, right? So that's been the experience so far, Harshila.
Yeah, and I think, finding that balance in life is one of the biggest challenges that all of us face.
Yeah.
So if we did have to talk about a challenge or a setback in your career that taught you a lesson that you still carry today, what might that be? So
that I have to just go back again in the time capsule. I think way back early days, I think I was a analyst, starting my journey. I was at the client side and we had just built this MVP sort of a database for acquiring new customers.
Okay.
And somewhere this one line of SAS code, at that time we were programming in SAS, so one line in SAS code, had an error in it, and we ended up targeting existing customers for new customer acquisitions. And then it was a small pilot, but one of the customers emailed back saying, "Oh, don't you know I'm your customer? And you're trying to acquire me?" That was a kind of a game changer moment for me, because what happened after that, I won't share much, but we solved it, we came out of it, but that learning stayed with me till now, that what you're doing has truly an far-reaching impact, right? So you need to have the right quality and checks and, processes in place.
Yeah, so there's no job that's too small. Everything is important.
It's like you're accountable for, the impact, and you're accountable for the impact as well as the downside.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So if there was just one key takeaway out of all of the things that we've discussed today, which were all incredibly interesting, if there's one key takeaway you'd like our listeners to walk away with about the kind of skills they should focus on and the kind of talent they should acquire if they want to excel in this field of AI and analytics, what might that be?
I think, it's no longer about how you do it. It's about connecting the dots. It's about figuring what problem needs to be solved. And there are technologies and solutions available to help you with it.
Yeah.
So if you're not a techie, if you do not know how to code, that's okay.
Yeah.
Right? So you can still do a lot of impactful work, and especially relevant for the MBA community, people who are looking for more business specific roles. I think there is, it's not one thing, but it's kind of couple of things.
Yeah.
The one thing I feel is people are thinking of using AI.
Yeah.
Right? Don't use AI.
Okay.
Partner with it.
Okay.
I'll say, let it work with you as a teammate.
Okay.
Now you have a teammate. You never had that.
Yeah.
So Excel and PowerPoint never teach you to learn Excel and PowerPoint.
Yes.
But AI can teach you to use AI.
That's actually very
better
true.
and
Yeah.
more smarter. I think that's one thing we should remember, that it's here to stay.
Yeah.
So we should get comfortable. Second thing is, I think the fundamentals remain same, right, for everyone. Building a strong business acumen,
Yeah.
having good communications, ability to tell a story, connecting the dots, right, and collaborating with people is much more important,
Yeah.
right? So look at AI as a tool to amplify your human potential,
Yeah.
rather than worrying about it too much. I think it's an exciting times we are moving into. So really looking forward to the future.
Yeah, I think that's a really wonderful piece of information to take away. So, Tarun, thank you so much for joining us today. Your insights on AI and leadership and everything in between were really, really inspiring. And I know I learned a lot. So I had a really great time speaking with you. And to our listeners, please stay tuned for more conversations such as this on amazing things that are shaping the world of tomorrow. And until next time, keep learning and stay curious.